that there are so many empty seats around this stadium. It's been a wonderful following by the Warrington faithful. Maybe they know something we don't know, that is it going to be hold? But this, as we've seen over this weekend, yesterday in the south of France, it was rough and it was rugged. Expect the same tonight.
Foster gets the game underway. Brett Hodgson is underneath the kickoff. Here is Morley. The charge from the kickoff by Hull FC was pretty good. And I suppose when you think about it, the Warrington fans might be thinking, well, we might have to go up the road somewhere next week, either Wigan or St Helens, depending on the club call tomorrow. And they also, of course, will have designs on Old Trafford. Maybe they're saving their pennies for that. Here's the first penalty of the match, a high shot on Trent Waterhouse, penalised by the match referee Richard Silverwood.
Well, Westerman had a tremendous game last week. He really is a key figure in the black and white outfit. And you can see he was very, very quick to get into that position.
Offside, not the high shot, and here is Harrison. Look at those strappings round both of Ben Harrison's knees. I wonder if, having watched him in the warm-up, Tony Smith thought, well, we might not get a full 80 out of him. Let him get on there quickly, do a quick 20 minutes and see how we go. It's Warrington who are on the attack here with Waterhouse. Gets the ball out the back door. It was knocked forward by Hyam. The scrum will go down and Hull will have loose head and feet. I
was just about to say, Eddie, you know, Tony Smith would have looked at the video of last week's game against the Saints, and there were times when Warrington just panicked to try to keep this ball alive. I fully expected in the opening 10 minutes they would have played safety first. They proved me wrong and come up with the error. It was not on to try to just keep that ball alive when they got themselves for the very first time in this game in a good position.
Well, apparently I'm just hearing that the Warrington sheet was made out wrong, which was taken into the dressing rooms, which we are privy to about an hour or so before kickoff. And so this change that we're calling a change isn't a change at all. Ben Harrison was in Tony Smith's thoughts from the very first minute of this match. So I hope that clears up any confusion there might be. Confusion only here, nowhere else, of course.
Well, there'll be no change in the mental state of the Hull players. Still only 2 minutes into the game and the score's 0-0. But I think the Hull coach and his players have had 7 days to try and increase their belief. And it's belief that's the most important thing for them here going into this game. You know, every side's pretty confident before a match, and certainly when it starts. The Hull belief will be tested. Should they start to make errors or go behind in the scoreboard?
Well, Seymour got the kick away and Hyam got to him. And I'm not saying he was late, but he certainly has left Brett Seymour on the floor. Nothing wrong with the challenge.
No, it was across the chest. That was fine. And it was always spotted by the two touch judges. Peter Gentle knows he's in for a real battle royal here. That's a good drive up from the big man Morley.
And it's Hodgson who is the dummy half. He gets away from the first would-be challenger, but then very quickly in was Liam Watts. This now is Hyam again, and Chris Hill will take it forward for the Wolves, only to the 40-metre mark. It's the last tackle here for Warrington, and Breers will thump the ball down the middle of the pitch. It takes a little right turn and finds Richard Horne, the Hull full-back. Good chase from Warrington.
Certainly is very positive there. And a much better kick from Lee Breers. He knows he was off the radar last week.
Last time we'll see these long locks of Lee, because Steve-O's got the razors with him. He's going to be shaving the head of Lee Breers after the match. And you'll be able to see the results in Boots and All on Wednesday night, Boots and All. Steve-O, the demon barber of the Halliwell Jones Stadium.
That's a good run. It surprised me there that Warrington's defence were very, very slow. You can see there that Andy Lynch got over the advantage line with ease. That's a nice kick into the corner.
Yes, measured kick from Seymour, and it just goes the right side of the corner flag.
It's taken him a while, hasn't it, Brett Seymour, to really fit into the black and white's style of play.
Well, they'll now hunt the mistake from Warrington.
He's been a slow starter. Maybe the lack of confidence early in the season, but he's certainly building on that. It's been a good job by the coach, Peter Gentle.
It's important, isn't it, that the underdog starts well in rugby league. to give themselves a chance. They've given themselves a possibility of winning this game, because in the first 4 or 5 minutes here now, they've played with good control. They've just about handled Warrington when they've had the ball, and they've kicked it rather successfully to end their sets.
Joel Monaghan to his feet. Here is Ryan Atkins from dummy half making a little run. Atkins in the dream team and tries in 3 of his last 4 matches. Hyam's so important to them early on, which is why he's pushed out there by Tony Smith, and Michael Monaghan will come off the bench later. Myler with that run gives it to Waterhouse, and they try and wrap him up, but he couldn't do Jay Pitts, so the ball is now with Hodgson. Warrington keeping it alive, but Mano doing well, tracking across laterally, and with Herremeyer he's brought down is Brett Hodgson. That was Griggs at dummy half, here now is Hill. It's solid Hull defence at the moment.
Certainly is, and good work from the hooker Mickey Hyam. Tony Smith wants him to be a little bit more energetic.
High kick from Breers.
It's swirling all over the joint. He's going to have trouble with it.
He's knocked it on. It was a wonderful kick from Breers. Spinning and spiralling all over the place, and Horn just not up to it.
It's amazing how Lee Breers can get that awkward bounce. It just sort of turns and turns and turns, and you could see from the look on his face, Richard Horn, oh, this is going to be tough. It was.
Richard Horn is a survivor of the 2005 playoff win here for the Black and Whites, but this is a glorious opportunity for Warrington, and Hodgson is almost in. And was the tackle completed by Herremeyer? Yes, it was, says the referee, so play the ball, which he does to Stefan Raxford. Here now is Hyam, and Hull move up and close his options down, force him back to the 10-metre line.
It's also important for the Black and Whites. They know they have not got to concede early. It's all about building your confidence, and with tackles like that, it certainly helps. Great from Seymour. That's going to be a penalty.
I think there's some confusion with the players, because there was a moment just before this when the Warrington man was about to go forward. He thought the tackle hadn't been completed. Richard Silverwood said it was, and then we just had that there, and Brett Seymour taking no chances. But it's another set of 6 coming at the Black and Whites line here. This is Waterhouse.
Keep your eye on Brett Hodgson out wide. Oh, that's not the best pass.
No, it just delayed the momentum slightly. And here is Myler, dummy half, 10 metres out. Breers gets it away to Hodgson, and Hodgson puts the pass down. Well, expectation is one thing, but delivering on that expectation is another.
Not the best pass, not the best position either, Brett Hodgson. Well, again, we're seeing the opposite of what I expected, and I'm sure what their coach Tony Smith expected.
I can understand why you'd say that, Steve-O, in such a big game, but you'd be going against what they did for 27 rounds. They make more mistakes as a team than anybody else in Super League. They're willing to throw the ball around, they're willing to chance their arm. And in that lies a chance for Hull FC and all their supporters that have come over here tonight. If they can play a relatively mistake-free game and not give the referee the opportunity to put his whistle in his mouth and blow a penalty, they should have chances in this game. They should have possession from warranted mistakes.
This is a decent-looking run from Liam Watts, but good defence from Warrington. A couple of great old stars. Use the word kindly, I hope. Tommy Martin, Neil Holding, the St Helens double act, watching this match. I think they're actually in the Hull FC end, in the far corner.
I think they came earlier, didn't they, to watch the match before this. As we see a penalty now, I think Warrington and St Helens under-20s played to qualify for their grand final, and Warrington won that match. So the senior side here now with Chris Hill will be hoping to advance one step closer to it, but Hull now start possession inside their opponent's half. That's a big plus for them.
The season began for these two on February the 5th with a game between the two of them. It was 20-all at the KC Stadium for one of them. The season must end here tonight. It's Hull who are coming forward with Aspinwall. That's solid Warrington defence, though. Slammed to the ground by Hyam and by Waterhouse. Now Houghton, he gets the ball away, and here is Richard Horn, must be breathing a big sigh of relief that Hull defended that mistake from him.
Tremendous work, though, by the Warrington defence. No one came out of the line. Utilised a dummy runner, and that delayed pass is put down.
It was put down by Yeeman, the ball from Herremeyer. The referee says that will be the 0 tackle. Had he taken that in, who knows, but Ratchford was there.
That was a pretty high shot, they got away with it. Golden opportunity, was half a chance there. The break was on. Yeaman couldn't take it in.
Here is Hill again. Of course, Gareth Carvell not involved tonight. He remains injured, and so too does Ben Westwood. Two big players for Warrington who are missing here tonight.
Especially Westwood. He's a leader of the forwards. He was missed last week, and he certainly will be missed tonight.
Hull have had plenty of injury problems of their own this year, but it is a settled side at the moment that Peter Gentle has named. I suppose, really, when you think about it, he doesn't have that many options. Here's Breers again. That kick this time not in the air. It's right down the middle of the ground, and Richard Horne is happy with that. He allows it to settle, picks it up, and then begins the response. And as he made the run, Jordan Turner just slipped on that far side.
Interesting to see how they went early. Didn't wait until the last. Lee Breers controlling things, something that he lacked last week. The communication between the Warrington players was not good against Saints. It's a lot better tonight, especially in defence. They're talking, they're moving, putting him in. No one's coming out of the line.
Here is Yeaman. 10 minutes, nearly 11 minutes gone. 0-0. And Hull are gaining in confidence with Lynch.
It's basic, and that's all they need. You get the impression that Hull can't score long-range tries, but when they get near to the line in the opposition, they're capable of doing that, that's for sure, especially with the likes of Willie Manu. His offloading capabilities will come to the fore.
Joel Monaghan now for the Warrington Wolves. It was a nice kick from Jeremiah that asks Warrington to come away from their own line. This is Harrison again. Ben Harrison's missed the defeat against St Helens last week. He was injured at Widnes in the final Super League weekly round. Big hit coming in there from Lynch.
Certainly was, and Mickey Hyam would have felt it.
I think Lynch did as well. Breers again with the kick, and also again right down the middle of the park. This will skip away though. This will run dead.
And again, not waiting till the last. Good opportunity. Quite a few of them were diffused. He was put under a lot of pressure last week. It's a ploy, Eddie, by Tony Smith. Say, look, don't wait until the last. And they wouldn't mind that ball going dead in goal. They know they can set up on that 30-metre line.
We've been talking about expectation, really, for Warrington. And that is even greater, knowing the fact here's a forward pass, knowing the fact that Warrington have never, ever suffered consecutive home defeats under Tony Smith. And that is a poor effort from Danny Houghton, to be fair.
He's had a wonderful season, and he knows that that is an error that could prove very costly indeed. Look for this Warrington outfit doing that short blind side. They look nothing better.
Well, when you make an error like that, you have a chance to redeem yourself straight away in the next set, and by keeping them out and defending them. Warrington have a lot of trick shots and can throw the ball around. And a big test for Hull FC coming up now.
Atkins with the first surge. Halted by two tacklers. A real tangle on the ground. Here comes Morley. Good hit by Aspinwall to stop him low down. He was finished off then by Westerman. They go down the short side, and Waterhouse was almost through. Another important tackle made by Seymour. Inching forward, though, Warrington all the time here. And it's Breers who gives it width and finds Grix. And Grix fancied it himself, but Jeremiah cuts him down 5 metres short. They're going the short side again. This is Monaghan. He almost fell over a grounded player then.
Breers is screaming for it. He's got it.
And the kick out wide is looking for Chris Riley, looking for Ryan Atkins. It's been knocked down. It's a try. I think it's a try for Big Trent Waterhouse.
It should be. It was definitely knocked down by the whole player. And they were very slow to recover. They're onside. Breers is near to that 10-metre line. All the rest are behind him. It was a pressure kick.
Did Ryan Atkins' fingers touch it, do you think, on that angle, Mike?
It's pretty close, isn't it? They'll slow it down. No, I think you'll find that it's Jordan Turner. And it bounces away. Atkins doesn't get through to it on this occasion. Foster, could he be penalised for holding him back? I'm not right sure. He doesn't have the ball. They're making sure.
It's impossible to say, isn't it, from there? Impossible to say.
This might tell us more.
Great position.
Great camera work. No, that's Turner. And then they'll look for the grounding. And the big second rower was sneaking around.
Is there a pull on the shoulders of Turner while he's in the air by Atkins?
No, his hands are up there to catch it, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They were, but they're not now.
Yeah,
is he pulling
the ball?
Yeah.
Passed by that point, I think, Eddie.
Well, he's certainly pulled him back. Will they have a look at the grounding? They are now. Foster couldn't get there. Richard Horne should have continued on. He should have been a bit quicker there, Richard Horne. And the big fella, Waterhouse. Foster tries to impede. And Richard Horne tries to stop the man rather than go for the football. This should come up with those magical little letters, T-R-Y.
And it does. Trent Waterhouse with the try. He was in the 2003 Penrith side as a substitute in the NRL Grand Final win against the Roosters, and he's just scored an important try here in this elimination semi-final.
It came about by a shocking pass by Danny Houghton. We indicated it could prove costly. Lee Briers was screaming for that ball well before they were playing it, and I'm afraid Richard Horne should have continued on for the ball rather than preventing the man. And Waterhouse sneaks in. Well, against the run of play, the big error from Danny Houghton, the forward pass. Can this man, who's had a wonderful season, Brett Hodgson, add the 2?
Yes, he can. Warrington have a 6-point advantage. 6-0 over Hull.
Well, the team that have conceded the try, Hull on this occasion here now, don't react quick enough as the ball goes in the air, and Waterhouse is the first to it. But you're then given about a 60-second rest before you restart play. And this break in play here now, while we see the try again, it's important that you're concentrated, because a side like Warrington have the ability and the focus and desire to score again here now in these 6 tackles. They're not just content to complete and kick the ball deep downfield. If they see a chance or a hole in your defensive line, they'll pass the ball to that space and look to strike from deep.
Oh, he was very lucky there.
Tremendous defence from the Hull FC team there.
I can't believe
Morley was looking to offload.
Yeah, why? A few metres from your own line, that nearly went forward. Nearly lost control.
He almost passed to himself, Adrian Morley.
Well, he did.
Had it touched the Hull player, of course, it would have been a knock-on. It would have been scrum, head and feed to the Black and Whites. As it is, here they are. They've got Warrington penned down on the 20-metre zone, and here comes Morley, trying to break his way through again.
That's important.
We'll play it here on the last.
That's important, Eddie, the way that he got up and played the ball quickly. He'd allowed Briers to have a free kick. Nobody applied the pressure on the little halfback.
Now then, here comes Tom Briscoe.
It's amazing what a try can do. Warrington a little bit sluggish, coming up with errors. But it was the one from the Black and Whites, wasn't it, from the hooker Danny Houghton, that gave them that opportunity. You've got to take them in these solid, tight games. That's play on, it went backwards.
And the tackle count continues as well. Only 3 wins needed now by Warrington or Hull, and Warrington know in playoffs they've won only 2 in 10. They'll have to really turn history around if they're to get to Old Trafford and win the grand final this year.
Not the best there from Eremaya. Good positioning though, as it always seems to be with Brett Hodgson. Remembered an earlier kick, went right into the corner. Gives the opportunity for Warrington to at least get to the 40-metre line, even if they can't make it to the halfway.
This is Riley going no further than Seymour or Westerman. Ratchford. Now then, there was a call from the Hull Terraces there of an obstruction by Ben Harrison, but Richard Silverwood is unmoved.
Really impressive defence by Hull since they conceded that try. You know, the aggression that they exerted in those 6 players, they've contained Warrington. They really do now have to have the concentration to go end-to-end in this game without coming up with a mistake.
Jamie Foster will look to go end-to-end, but only makes it about 10-15 metres forward before he's brought to ground.
Bit of a knock on the head there. I think you find that Richie Myler has got in awkward into the tackle. Or is it Riley?
Well, Riley had his hand up over on the far side. I think he's just telling everyone he's all right.
Not so sure. You can tell this is tight. Regards to the way that the defence is very rare to get a clean break.
Marco Mealy on. He'll be at Hull next year, of course. What's happened there?
Play Hull, I think backwards.
I think Hull have got the ball with Houghton. They have.
Well, it was a clever flip back, and it went between his legs.
This is the last, and they're running it here with Jeremiah, with Manu. Bounces off Briers, gets the ball away. Knock on by Monaghan.
Just a little one.
Frustration for Joel Monaghan.
Did well, Briers, to put himself on the line there, but look at this. Great tackle. How did he get it away? But he goes backwards, and look at Danny Houghton. How clever is that? How clever from the hooker. Fantastic stuff. You take your opportunities, and he got into a good position. Well, it's made up for that error earlier on that resulted in the try to Waterhouse.
Well, talking about a good position, we're almost 20 minutes into this match, and that knock on there now by Joel Monaghan will give Hull the first time almost 20 minutes have elapsed before Hull have played the ball close to Warrington's try line. This has to be a chance here now for them to get back on the scoreboard.
And they'll come with Westerman and Seymour, and wide to Horn, and he shaped a pass and then went down the middle himself. Clawed to ground by Atkins and Myler. This is Turner. He gives it to Seymour. They've gone wide to Westerman. Tries to ride the tackle. Can't do so. And there's blood coming from the nose of Trent Waterhouse. It was badly broken last week, and Waterhouse has a problem here again tonight. This is Houghton. He finds Seymour. Seymour, short ball. Good defence though on Jordan Turner.
Picked it out well, Ryan Atkins.
Seymour to Houghton again. And here is Jeremiah, comes back to Horn. He gets away from Briers, but there's reinforcements aplenty, and Griggs brings him down on the last. Again, they're running it. The kick maybe, no, it's with Yeaman. It was a forward pass anyway.
Yeah, not the best offload. Little bit of panic running through the veins there.
A forward pass given against Hull, but it's a very, very revealing set, and if you're a Hull FC fan, you'll be disappointed with the end result, but you should be happy with the set. They stretched the Warrington Wolves on that occasion, shifting the ball wide. They caused problems, enough problems for the Warrington defence to think, well, these guys, if they get down here, they could score a try. If you're a Hull FC fan, you should be enlightened by that last set of 6.
Well, certainly in the past 24 hours, these playoffs have come alive. We saw a magnificent match last night in Perpignan as the Catalan Dragons season was ended by the champions, who look in the mood again to get back to Old Trafford. And here tonight for 20 minutes, we've got a contest and a half, and Hull are matching it with Warrington. They're slugging it out toe-to-toe.
Yeah, it was a good old-fashioned contest last night, and we're getting exactly the same. Good, hard, solid work. And I must say the referee's doing a good job as well.
It's almost as though, you know, that looked a bit high from O'Mealy, but the referee had a better look at it than we did. It's almost like the first round of playoff matches is, you know, a bit of a push and a shove here and there, and there's not too much in terms of contest, although Saints and Wigan would maybe argue that point. And then we get to this stage, and after this we have the club call, which is live on Sky Sports News HD tomorrow from 12:30 lunchtime, and we will see who Wigan will choose. They'll be watching the outcome of this very carefully. You would think Wigan would pick Leeds at this moment in time, but who knows?
Yeah, a long way to go. Don't write off the black and whites. They may be in the equation. Oh, great work.
It's a high shot.
High shot.
Briers cannot believe it.
You know what? He's been one of the best defenders, hasn't he, for Warrington? Usually the main attacker. He's made some brilliant decisions, got up quickly on the man. OK, he's penalised here, he's made contact too high. But it's obviously not just about putting your shoulders, it's also about using your brain when you have to defend. And Lee Briers has done that intelligently so far.
Doesn't she look beautiful with the long hair?
It's not going to be there for long. Steve-O's got his shavers charging up, and it's all for the Joining Jack charity.
Yeah, and not only that, Lee has promised me that I could keep the hair. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Joining Jack, and should mention Reverse Red as well. It's Lee's personal charity that he works with, so it's split between the two of those great causes. But between now and then, we have a game to play, and as you said, boys, it's game on.
Oh, very much so. Aspinwall trying to duck under the defenders. Quick play the ball. Houghton gets it away to Lynch. Lynch will drive it in and gets the ball away back to Houghton, but that's good defence from Ratchford. He was all over Danny Houghton then. Here's Seymour. And Heremiah. Oh, picked up by Breers. Gets it away to Ratchford. There comes the counter.
Oh, great work there by Briscoe. It had to be as well. Did Willimano push the man away? I think he might have. They don't like it. Brett Hodgson, he was that went it out. Oh, and that could have been a flop. That's the second occasion that we've seen Danny Houghton just lose control of his senses and flop on the man. Completely waved away by the official.
They're over halfway though, Warrington. This is Myler taking it to the line, trying to duck his way underneath the challenges. That's 4 tackles gone, says Richard Silverwood in the background. Here now comes Chris Hill. And Hill goes down. Here comes the last.
Be another spinner.
Breers running it, gets it to Griggs. Griggs then finds Ratchford.
Oh, good hit there.
Solid defence from Westerman.
That's a turnover. Well, that really has surprised me. Remember, they got the error from Richard Orne, the fullback, with a high bomb, and they completely ignored that opportunity now.
Let's get down to Rod very quickly.
Yeah, possible pivotal moment in this game, Eddie, because Michael Monaghan is about to enter the fray. We know what kind of influence he can have from the substitutes bench. He and Mike Cooper are about to come on in a double change for Tony Smith.
Yes, he's itching to get on. So too is Mike Cooper, who played last week on his birthday, his 24th birthday. Mike Cooper on a losing side against St Helens. Warrington fans doing their best. Lynch has come up with an error. Hill has got it. This will be a 0.
And it's the man that might be replaced by Michael Monaghan, Mickey Hyam, who's heavily involved, as well as Chris Hill. Probably worth mentioning what Mickey Hyam has done, keeping Michael Monaghan on the bench, you know, and he's fulfilling a role for Tony Smith and proving a very, very valuable part as we see the former number 1 starting number 9 come onto the field.
Yes, the change has been made. Monaghan into the action straight away with a run down the short side. Oh, and coat angered by Westerman, was it? Or was it Seymour? I think it might have been Westerman.
Yeah, it's a late grab. Or should I say it's a late swipe to the head. And straight away, we see the quality of the hooker, Michael Monaghan. He loves nothing better than to skirt down that short blind side. Perhaps at this point in time, he wishes he hadn't.
It's definitely a careless high tackle, isn't it? And this is where, and I thought yesterday with Danny Maguire, I think the sport needs to consider whether the players should go in the sin bin. If you're not sent off for a high tackle, there has to be a middle ground between a penalty and a sending off.
I agree with you, Phil, but for some unknown reason, they say if it's got to be a sending off, it's got to be sending off and that's it. You cannot put someone into the bin for a sin, and yet we call it a sin bin.
I was talking to one leading former coach on the way home last night who says that perhaps at the moment he believes the game is becoming a little bit sanitised. I'm not saying that that is anything to do with this that we've just seen here, but I think I knew exactly where he was coming from.
Well, I think anybody watching last night, that certainly wasn't sanitised. They were trying to knock each other's head off from start to finish. It was a good old-fashioned stoush, wasn't it? I loved every single minute of it.
What it does do is it leaves Hull with a problem. You listen to the referee speak to Westerman, but they don't want to be defending their line against this Warrington side. I said they concede as few penalties as possible in this game. Westerman's done a couple.
This is going on report, I think.
Mick, you're the captain.
Well, he's going to be the captain now.
He's caught him eye, okay. I don't know where the initial contact was. It's going on report, penalty against you, okay?
On report, if Hull make it through next week, Joe Westerman, like Danny Maguire, has got a very, very nervous few days ahead of him. So, penalty to Warrington. Here comes Waterhouse, straight at Westerman. Westerman has got to watch himself now. Monaghan looks as though he's okay, clapping his hands on his toes. This is Myler, pops it up to Wood. Paul Wood going forward again. Westerman making a good tackle. Monaghan 10 metres out, having another little run at them. And this time it is The substitute, Jay Pitsu, gets him down. Breers, oh, he went down on one knee, and Willie Manu missed it! And Breers! So close! I don't think that was off the training field somehow. Here's a penalty for Warrington. Manu was embarrassed.
It's getting tasty.
And Breers was annoyed.
Well, I think someone should bring back Lee Breers. A little bit of weight difference. Willie Manu having a little word.
Lee had a smile on his face. He's a good talker. I don't think he want to be a fighter in this situation.
But it was a good move, wasn't it? He virtually looked as though he slipped to get away with it. Breer says, get out of the way. Manu said, I'll give you a facial. And then picks him up like a sack of potatoes and tries to turn into him a bag of chips.
Well, it's another penalty that goes Warrington's way. This pressure is mounting.
I reckon they'll score. I think they'll start to utilise the dummy runner. They haven't done that much, Warrington, yet. And this is where it should work.
Harrison goes down first tackle. Monaghan is waiting at dummy half. They're lined up down this left-hand side. Well, that's to nobody in particular. It was lucky it got there on the bounce to Myler. Myler turned it into something. Monaghan again in at dummy half. They'll go again down that left-hand side with Wood first, then Hodgson, then short it goes once more.
Great tackle by Seymour. Had to be right round the ankles.
Monaghan. And Wood went without it, and O'Mealy picks up the pieces. What a pick-up from the big fella.
Yeah, put himself in a good position, but yet again, you just get that feeling that Warrington, every time they have possession, they want to score on every move. Sometimes you just have to slow it down and grind it out.
That's the way they play
again. Yeah, I know, but it didn't work against St. Helens, did it?
But don't you get confident if you're Hull FC, being able to defend your mistakes? And in that occasion, the mistake was conceding a penalty. Mark O'Mealy, experienced player, able to swoop on the ball after some good Hull FC defence. Well, it gets them the ball back, it gets them in good position. O'Mealy, Johnny on the spot, and there's plenty of nous in that body, in that frame.
This is Westerman again. He's wrestled to the ground on halfway. Houghton kicks from dummy half, and Hodgson positioned himself perfectly. The ball had a nasty little bounce, but he got the arms out, and then he gets the tackle from Jordan Turner. Here comes Atkins again for Warrington.
And it's those offloads now as players start to tire a little bit. 25, 30 minutes into a game. Atkins offload to Riley. Here's Monaghan looking now with his arms free with the ball. Sometimes you think you have to defend 6 tackles, but it can be 12 with the amount and the style that wanted to keep the ball alive.
Tyrone McCarthy is out there.
It's rugged defence. It's absolutely wonderful to see from both these teams.
Cooper will take it forward for Warrington. And Hull have got to the last again.
It's got to be the high spider this time.
There it goes. There it goes. And Foster is after it and claims it brilliantly on his knees.
Great shout as well. You can see Richard Horn coming for it as well. He's screaming, it's mine, it's mine. And guess what? It was.
Steve, this game has just got quicker. Warrington have just sped this game up. Jamie Foster able to pouch that, and that will help this side. Can Hull FC lift and keep the same level that Warrington have just introduced to the game? It's got markedly quicker.
The only problem is that Hull are having to go through a lot of defensive effort. We have really not seen a combination like from Seymour and Jeremiah. And it's the one sort of negative I've always felt about the black and whites, is that they've got a good set of forwards, but, you know, the half-back position, they don't really get the three-quarters moving.
These two sides, two of Super Leagues, and I use the phrase Super Leagues great underachievers. The Black and Whites have been to Old Trafford in 2006. It was a year after they won the Challenge Cup. And Warrington, of course, have been to 3 Challenge Cups in the last 4 years. But the Holy Grail has been a place at Old Trafford. And they are desperate to get there this year. Second in the table. Hull FC finished 6th, 9 points behind at the Warrington Wolves. But this is a tremendous cup tie.
It certainly is, Eddie, and I must say that Wigan and St. Helens will be just sitting back and admiring, but also having a wry smile at the fact last night both Leeds and the French outfit, Catalan Dragons, just absolutely got into each other, and this is what they're seeing tonight, and this takes a lot out of you.
where I'm impressed here with Holiday is that Warrington have had the majority of the ball in this game. More possession usually means that you'll look the fitter, the stronger side, but Hull's defence here now, as we get to half an hour, still looks as strong as it does in the first 3 minutes. They've got to now push on here for the next 10, because it's telling here they've done well to compete, but they have to concentrate for another 10 minutes to give themselves a chance at half-time.
We're 2 weeks away from Old Trafford. Next weekend we'll know who's going. We've had half an hour here, and Warrington just had their noses in front. There's a possibility that from Jeremiah just drifted forward as well. At least a few thousand in the crowd wearing Warrington's colours thought so. This is Houghton. Good run from him.
Certainly is, and he's one of the few that is getting over the advantage line. They've got to come up with a little bit more on this whole side.
Good kick into the corner, turning Hodgson around. He's got to run this away from his own line, and does. Oh, and then he gets clattered. But legally, according to Richard Silverwood.
Important now. They try to force that out of the black and whites. It's I must say they've handled it extremely well.
All this defence, though, from Hull FC, you wonder just what it's going to take out of them come the end of the game. And here goes Wood driving it forward. Look, thanks to our friends at Iron Brew, we are offering here on Sky Sports 2 hospitality tickets to the grand final. And it includes rail travel, accommodation, and a couple of £100 to spend to be in with a chance of winning the prize. And for full terms and conditions, simply visit www.skysports.com/rugbyleague/ironbrew/ select your try of the season, watch the clips, vote for your favourite, match the choice of John Wells to be in with a chance of winning that wonderful prize. And we look forward to seeing you, whoever wins, at Old Trafford on grand final night 2 weeks today. £200 to spend. That would just about buy Steve-O a bottle of something, I think.
True.
You've very expensive tastes, haven't you?
Always have. You know, that kick into the corner, you could see that that Hull was not interested in rushing and getting it formed. They're just nice and steady. They're trying to force them back. They haven't had much field position. That's their biggest problem. Their coach Peter Gentle will know that.
What usually happens in a game, as the time goes on, the quality and the accuracy of the kicks usually drops as players start to tire. It hasn't been the case for either of the teams at the moment, and Hull need to maintain the quality of their kicks to give themselves a chance and get up to the other end of the field.
Peter Gentle watching from the touchline on the far side. This is Manu. That ball's popped out, and it's been swooped on by Michael Monaghan. He's tackled by Briscoe.
That's the second error we've seen from the big fella, Willie Manu.
Here goes Monaghan.
The most amazing thing about Willie Manu is that they're not going, making sure that one goes down, one goes so that he can't offload, and they just fumbled that.
Good ball from Breers, finds Myler, and Myler then, they're offside. Hull's defence, that is, are offside.
And that came about by a good quick play of the ball by Warrington. You just sense that out on the fringes, the Wolves are just starting to hit top gear.
Offside.
So penalty to Warrington. There's a few to choose, isn't there, for the referee there?
Yeah, it was Jordan Turner that left the blocks a little bit earlier. The objective is, of course, if you go early out wide, it'll force them down the middle. Now then, watch on that blind side. Monaghan likes nothing better. Is he going to go that way? No.
Into centre field to Myler, to Breers, on then to Hodgson. Here goes Griggs. Griggs hit that at pace and burst through one tackle and is clawed down just about 5 metres short. It is with Hodgson, who finds Breers again. Great ball to Myler. Great try for Myler. Lee Breers found the key and unlocked the defence. And Breers is hurt after that try has been scored. Didn't see what happened. I followed the ball. I think everybody did. There might be something that we can pick out for you as to why Breers is in this state. But whatever it is, Breers found the pass to Myler, and Myler pouched it and went over the line for his try. Young man who's in the England night squad. 10th of the season at scrum half since missing the cup semi-final.
Loses possession. Willie Manu can't keep control of it. And from this, he's standing well back, and it was just a push in the back there, and it came on the angle. Absolutely wonderful there by Richie Myler. Committed himself there, but it was the way that he ran in the angle, not straight towards the post. And I think he did a little bit of a problem with the hamstring. Just a shoulder charge, nothing untoward with that, but I think it's.
I think
he's tweaked something.
A clash. I think both thighs hit each other, and I think that might be a dead leg that Briers is suffering. Is that an aspirin he's just taken?
Salt tablet, Eddie. Salt tablet.
He's limping badly. I don't know what the salt tablet would do in that situation, but
it moves the blood around quicker.
I didn't think they made them anymore, but never mind.
I thought you were brought up on fish and chips.
No mistake from Brett Hodgson. 12-0 Warrington, inching their way towards the big weekend next weekend, when we'll find out who's off to Old Trafford and the Theatre of Dreams.
You got it right, Eddie. They're inching towards it, but it was a superb angle run by this fella. Take nothing away from the Briers. Long pass. He knew exactly where the gap was.
And they're 7s and 6s in this game. They're usually not the biggest, Eddie, but you do have to be brave to be a ball player, because you're going to have to take that sometimes. Pass the ball or kick the ball, and you're going to get left on the floor. Well, the fact that you're willing to wear that tackle means you can put your teammates through holes, as Lee Briers did on that occasion for Richie Myler. An important time for them to score. Hull FC have got to make sure it doesn't force their heads down.
It was a brave take by Richard Myler as well.
Certainly was. He was under pressure from his own player. Michael Monaghan was going in the same direction towards him.
It was a beautiful run, beautifully timed run from Myler, but what a ball from Briers that led to his try. 4 minutes to half-time, and great kick early in the tackle count from Michael Monaghan. Now, here comes Monaghan leading the charge, putting the ball onside, getting the first challenge in on Horn. Eventually, he's finished off by Paul Wood.
It's play like that really lifts your side. Put the kick in from dummy half, went on the third, went early, and then chased downfield, made sure he got the tackle. He's going through a lot of work. It's been a master stroke by Tony Smith. He did a good job, did Mickey Hyam, but Michael Monaghan is proving to be the difference.
And it's been a masterclass of field position and controlling where the game's played. Warrington have had twice as much possession as their opponents inside the opposition half, and clearly that's helping them to the 12-0 advantage.
As Mickey Hyam, content to just watch for the time being, will no doubt come back on in the second half. This is the last tackle for the Black and Whites, and Seymour angled. Oh, he was taken. He's hit the deck after the kick went. I think it was a challenge from Myler, and they're exchanging views about the validity of that.
I think it was a bit of Oscar nomination there.
Here goes Riley now for Warrington. Quick play the ball. Myler again. Just inside their own half, Warrington. The kick then from Hodgson.
It's been good tactics by Warrington. Kick early in the tackle count. They know that the wingers have not dropped back, so therefore they can't help the fullback. And look at all the Warrington players surrounding him.
It's been good pressure from Hull when they've got up the other end, but there hasn't really, I'm trying to think, hasn't really been a threat, has there?
No, they can't make the break.
Line.
Cannot make the break.
We spoke about Willie Manu before the game, and I thought there was an over-reliance in previous games on Willie Manu on this left edge, getting the ball to him. I think they haven't done it enough in this game. You got to give him the ball with plenty of space, and he is a handful. We just haven't seen it.
Well, they've just surrendered the possession here to Mike Cooper, and this is a very dodgy 1.5 minutes remaining for the men from the KC Stadium.
Well, Jay Pitts looked at the official and said, well, I thought there was a hand in there. He may have got that wrong, the official.
Is Monaghan gets it away to Wood, and good hands from Wood. It finds its way to Brett Hodgson. Hodgson still going, down he goes under the challenge from Jeremiah.
Hull realise they can't concede just before half-time.
This could be their season if they do. It's Griggs.
Breers with the kick, will he go early? No, he wants the forwards to sort it out.
Cooper finds, and they find Wood from Myler. He keeps it alive, still alive. Breers comes long and finds Michael Monaghan. Monaghan has got Ratchford with him. Monaghan on one leg gets it to Simon Griggs. He's lost the ball.
No advantage.
And Hull survive, and so too does their season.
Well, they didn't score for Warrington, but Stephen Ratchford was the player whose defence gave them that opportunity to look for that try. And in fact, amazingly, you'd be surprised, no player for Warrington's made more tackles than Ratchford at this stage. He's made every effort in defence. Unfortunately, Griggs and his team can't convert that chance into tries. But whilst ever you've got players like Lee Breers and Stephen Ratchford wanting to be the best defender on the field, you've got a great chance of winning.
The measure of the task that Hull FC face tonight is the fact that Warrington have only lost twice on this ground all year, and both to St Helens. Once in Super League and once last week, and Warrington have got the ball back, but there's the half-time siren.
It's too late, it's all over. First half gone.
Well, they're still in it. They're still in it, Peter Gentle's men. That's important for them. They're only trailing by 12. It was Waterhouse in the 14th minute. It was Myler in the 35th. And although they've battled away gamely in defence, the Black and Whites, they really haven't threatened the Warrington line as yet. Warrington Wolves, who have playoff